Welcome back, everyone. Let's go and do a quick long comparison between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 in 2022. Now, I will recommend probably buying the latest iPhone you can get, so I will leave both of these linked down in the description. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, Apple is still selling both these iPhones brand new, but what's so crazy is that these iPhones are actually pretty different from one another. They're $100 or actually $200 different brand new from Apple. Now, side by side, they are very, very similar. There's not like anything super crazy. The iPhone 11 has a 6.1-inch IPS panel on the front. It's not an OLED, but it still looks pretty good. I haven't really had too many issues with it, but I do like the fact that this thing is substantially cheaper than the iPhone 12, but it's also still a pretty good looking iPhone, you know? I don't really think this is like an ugly looking iPhone. It has a little bit more bezel than the 12, but I think even now in 2022 with, bezel and everything that it has, I don't even think it's really that bad. Now, on something like the iPhone 12, I think this is the better looking phone. I mean, you have less bezel on it. You have pretty much the same notch and everything. You have an AMOLED display, which is really beautiful, Super Retina XDR OLED display, which is really, really nice. I, for one, I'm a big fan of the way this iPhone looks. However, I don't really think it's a crazy big difference, but I do always appreciate OLED, the deep blacks, everything like that. So this one definitely has a better panel for sure. Now, in terms of thinness and thickness, there really isn't anything super crazy. The iPhone 11 feels a little bit thinner, although it's probably the thicker iPhone. With the iPhone 12, you do have flat sides on it, so it kind of feels like, you're touching the thickest point of the iPhone 12 at all times. With the iPhone 11, it's a little curved, but I would definitely say the iPhone 12 is a little bit thinner. It's definitely much lighter. On the back, we have glass backs on both with dual camera setups, and you can't really tell that big of a difference. They almost look like the exact same phone on the back, which is so funny. I think both of them look great. I would probably prefer the iPhone 12's body. I like the curved sides now. I like the little bit less bezel on it, but I definitely do think they have pretty much the same type of thing going on. There's really not that big of a difference. On the bottom, lightning ports, so no like headphone jacks or anything like that. IP certification on the back. You do have MagSafe charging here, but you have wireless charging on both, so it's not really that crazy big of a difference. And in terms of the outside, that really pretty much covers it up. Now, in terms of longevity, this is another pretty big thing to keep in mind. The iPhone 11 came out in 2019, so this phone, because the iPhone 12 is a year newer, we should expect the iPhone 12 to last longer than the iPhone 11. But with something like the 11, it's still supported for quite a bit of time. It's not like this thing's going to be outdated anytime soon either. So you're still getting software updates, you're still getting, a lot of support here and there. But the iPhone 12 is going to outbeat the iPhone 11. Again, it's not a guarantee, like we don't know for 100% fact. If I had to estimate, I would probably say that's the case, but again, we don't know for sure. So I'm going to say right now, it's like 50-50. It's probably going to outbeat it. If there's a chance, it's going to definitely outbeat it, but there is a chance Apple may support this thing for a little bit longer too. So it's not like we know, but if we had to guess, that's kind of what we would say. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these devices. The iPhone 12 has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4GB of RAM, where the iPhone 11 has that Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 4GB of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both of these. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background, as you guys can tell. The iPhone 11 is here, the 12 is here. So let's get into it. Phone call, let's just do music. 3, 2, 1. Kind of the same thing. They're both on different panels. Let me click here. I guess pretty much the same thing. There wasn't that big of a difference. App Store, 3, 2, 1. And looks like the iPhone 12 was a little bit faster there. Scrolling through here, let's see if there's a difference. I don't want to think there's that big of a difference clicking here. Guess they didn't really click at the same time. Hopping out of this one. Let's go and get into Mail, 3, 2, 1. Pretty much the same thing. Clock, 3, 2, 1. Pretty much the same thing too. Let's go and get into Settings, 3, 2, 1. Kind of the same thing too, not that big of a difference. You may be able to tell over the camera the differences between the displays, but kind of the same thing. There wasn't that big of a difference there. Camera, 3, 2, 1. And kind of the same thing too. Let's go and take a photo. So this one did not take it on night mode, this one did. So I don't know if there's even night mode on the iPhone 11, which I'm pretty sure there was. And that pretty much covers it up for the front-facing, applications. I have a bunch of these third-party apps we can go and get into. Let's do Thank You, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Getting into some gameplay. Let's see if there's a difference. Man, I don't really think there is. So I'm getting into Netflix, 3, 2, 1. Maybe the 12 was a little bit faster. Let's do Quizlet, which I do not have here. I do not have Dropbox either. Let's do Stack, 3, 2, 1. The iPhone 12, I think, was a little bit faster there. Let's go and get into Snake vs. Blocks, 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. And iPhone 11 actually was a little bit faster there. Very, very surprising to me. I was not expecting that. Gameplay wise, let's go and hop out of this one for the most part. Let's go and get into Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. Now there's a chance there may be an ad or something that comes up, so we're going to have to kind of play it by ear. Okay, both of them look to be about the same. The 12 looks to be faster, and the 12 was faster. The iPhone 11 a little bit behind. I did see a little bit of glitchiness going on with the iPhone 11, so the 12 at least kind of looked a little bit faster there. Let's go and get into Facebook. 3, 2, 1. I think I am logged in here, so we'll just kind of let that one slide. Let's do Twitter. 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 actually a little bit faster there too. Very strange. I was not expecting that. We can try the original Temple Run. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got a little bit of a pop-up here. I guess we're going to have to kind of let this one slide and kind of load it up in the background. Let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Very strange. I hate when that happens, but there's really not much we can do about it, to be honest. And I think the 12 is the faster one, although the 11 was pretty good as well. And I mean, we pretty much see which one is faster there. So I think ultimately, I think the 12 is the faster one more times than not. There were a few times the iPhone 11 was a little bit faster, but they both were like very, very close. I think that 11 is still really fast. I don't really think there's too many differences between them. Although if you want the faster one, the 12 is, the obviously faster one. But that pretty much covers it up there. Now let's go and hit on the cameras. Now, like I mentioned before, dual camera setups on the back, 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wides. They have pretty much the same front facing camera too. They both can do 4K at 60 on the back and 4K at 60 on the front. So not really that many differences. Now, something like the iPhone 11, this was a very, very good sensor. This was the first time we saw an ultra-wide camera on their budget tier iPhone, which was really nice. You can zoom out a lot, you can zoom in, still pretty good amount. It's not like a telephoto lens, but it's still pretty good. But that ultra-wide sensor is really awesome. Having that capability of that ultra-wide sensor is great. You have video mode, you have portrait mode as well, which is really cool. So you still have a lot of features built into this camera for sure. Now, with something like the iPhone 12, this is a really good camera too. It's probably better than the iPhone 11, but I can't really tell too many differences. Like I mentioned, they're both very good sensors. And the thing with the iPhone 11 is that it's almost the same exact camera as the iPhone 12. You have the same resolutions you can film in. You have the same cameras for the most part. You have the same everything. Maybe the only difference is like higher megapixel. Maybe the only difference is like maybe higher quality photos here and there and higher quality videos. But if you don't really care about it, you're not going to notice that big of a difference. You have portrait mode. Pretty much everything's the same between them. There wasn't really any crazy feature that the iPhone 12 had that the iPhone 11 didn't have in terms of the camera. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. And to be completely honest, I think when it comes down to it, the iPhone 12 is probably the better one. Really, the iPhone 11 wins in terms of price per dollar, used prices, as well as the battery. The battery on the iPhone 11, I think, is better than the iPhone 12's. The 12's had a battery degradation problem, but I love the iPhone 11. I think this is a very good phone. However, I guess if you have to buy the best one between them, I think the 12 is better. It's going to last longer, and it has better performance. However, you are getting, I think, a stabler phone on the iPhone 11. It's also cheaper than the iPhone 12 as well, and it's not going to have that battery degradation problem that a lot of iPhone 12s have. I don't know if Apple fixed it. They haven't addressed it, but if they have or they haven't, I mean, there's still a chance your iPhone may have it. The iPhone 11, as far as we know, didn't have this problem. So that's probably where I probably stand between these two devices. Like I mentioned, if you want to pick them up, links are down in the description. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.